Hi, George.
Hi, Juliette.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I am happy to be joining you in cyberspace, somewhere between Atlanta and Minneapolis.
Yeah, so this is an unconventional lens to lens because it is recorded versus just transcribed into text. But I thought it was a great opportunity to just sort of sit down and talk about this cool project that we did together. You reached out to me and wanted to do follow up on some of the buzz that you had heard around the film global film swap that Suzanne and Perfect Light had hosted.
Exactly.
And
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 I had done a similar role earlier in the year with a local photographer, Arika Rowe, and
mhm.
she did her photographs were largely of Lake Superior and the Minnesota State Fair, and mine were of my building and artists in my building.
Sweet.
But I
Nice.
think it's really fun that we're meeting. Maybe one of the nice reasons for having a live conversation is that we also joined in a kind of spontaneous way in the photographs.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'll just talk a little bit about what we did here. You sent me a roll of film, and uh, I specifically requested Tri-X, and I'm glad I did because it's a little more forgiving. And then we learned some things from a couple of their, I guess you call happy accidents, and other things were just learning
Mm.
curves. But when I developed and scanned the film, I didn't have to do really that much editing,
Oh, good.
and it had a certain quality about it that I had to sort of tame. The contrast was the biggest challenge, and for you, I know that shooting in the snow was another challenge, and the level of exposure, underexposing and overexposing, that was a hard
Mhm.
thing to sort of manage. But all in all,
Well,
uh,
there are some happy results um, as a consequence of that. I
mhm.
think when we look at the photographs, we'll see how some of the things that really mattered to me have come through in a very consistent fashion.
Yeah. So,
Just a little background,
yeah.
I guess, as to what's combined here in these photographs. I did. Oh, there's a woman named Renee Good who was killed by Immigration's Customs Enforcement thugs here in Minnesota on the 7th of January. And Minnesota went into a state of emergency, um, and was looking for ways to alleviate um, aggression and violence, and at the same time deal with grief. And it happened that one of the things that I became attracted to were protests on pedestrian bridges that were taking place over freeways in the Twin Cities.
Hmm.
And specifically, this one bridge that is very close to where I live in the Harrison neighborhood of Minneapolis. And so I was brought to that bridge by my sense of needing to participate. And that bridge was the place that I worked and made photographs for about an hour on the 21st of January.
Hmm.
And it started with an empty bridge, and then more and more people showed up.
Yes, and then you sent me the role.
Mm-hmm.
And, I talk about this a lot on my Substack, but I am a firm believer in working with the grain and not against the grain,
Mm-hmm.
and really staying open to create a process. And so when the first two attempts of trying to use this role for something else didn't work, timing wise or what have you, then all of a sudden, this opportunity came up on Valentine's Day. I had time to go shoot, and I live very close to an area where there's a market, and it's largely Hispanic population. So I thought, you know what, I'll just go down there and see what I can find. And I started seeing all this evidence of love and Valentine's Day. And I thought, this is going to be the theme. And so that's what we're going to see in these photos. I'm just jumping right into the first one. Do you want to talk a little bit about the chain link fence and some of the
Yeah.
other thoughts around that?
Well, let's jump to the second, just because it'll start to give you the idea. It'll set the scene for where I was photographing. If we look just off of Snow White's shoulder here, you can see the pass and the overarching screen of chain link fence that goes over a very busy freeway spur, and that big white pyramid shape is the path of snow that creates the pedestrian bridge. So, in order to enter that tunnel, you have to walk across that snowy expanse. And so, between the snow, kind of pushing the exposure into brightness, and the chain link fence, I had some very distinctive elements to work with. And I think that that really sets off of what you were doing, Juliette, in terms
Mhm.
of, the contrasts and details and the sort of overall screen or tableau of information.
Yeah, it's interesting because we're contrasting so much. There's like contrast in the film that's really strong, and there's contrast in the theme. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just her veil coming down in the middle of that was just like, wow.
I know, melding with the snow.
Yeah, so let's go to the next
Um,
one. And we'll just skip through the ones that are just, not quite as impactful. This one was just, continuing to walk around and photograph through windows, and I do see in the background, um, and I did try to bring out when there were instances of signage. This one,
mhm.
this one I couldn't make out quite as well.
Right. No, this was a bus stop that I was looking into and through. It's also a glass wall at the
Mm,
back of a bus stop, and posted in the bus stop was a sign, cardboard sign that said "Ice Out," and I think
mhm.
that it says January 23rd down at the bottom because that was the day there was a general strike in Minneapolis, and I think countrywide there had been some effort to um, put a seizure for a day on business activities.
Oh, yeah. And you'll see more evidence of signage as we go forward. This one. So
Mm-hmm.
there's your ice out.
That's the yeah. This is exactly the same spot, and I like this one in part because it doesn't have the chain link fence in it. As we
Hmm.
were editing, I sort of saw this one and the one before and thought, well, if we want to have a kind of variety, visual variety, it may make sense to use a picture from the bus stop to just offset some of the rhythm of the chain link.
Yeah. And I tried to keep some of the loss of density under control. I think I did okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
It could be better, but I'd have to scan the entire roll again and, tweak a few settings, but this is great just as it is.
Yeah, I'm happy. I knock wood that it happened that way. Oh, this is the first time I've seen this one this big, and I can see that there's an umbrella in it.
Yeah.
You see the umbrella on the right hand
Yes.
side?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That is. We have the house in the middle of for your information, this in Spanish says come and reconnect with your roots.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Enjoy la cultura de enjoy the Latin American culture.
Hmm.
It can't be more fitting. This was just kind of a meh beginning of the role. You
This
can
one
see.
I
Oops.
just didn't understand. I
Yeah, it's beginning of the role. That was a test shot. We can ignore
okay.
that one. And here were the baby Jesus figures in the window, which I thought was pretty
It's
campy.
it's pretty busy. It's a
It
very
is.
busy picture.
Yeah. And then add the chain link in the back.
Hmm.
Um, I debated about people in the photograph, but the people were just a part of this lovely community. And so, how
I
can I not?
debated as I was going through and making my edit, I debated that also. I found it very interesting to have representations of people, because
Hmm.
we have mannequins, we have photographs, or in just a couple of instances, there were, for lack of a better word, real faces, and I
Hmm.
and I that just kind of, I maybe I had the same hesitancy that you might have.
Yeah, but then again, it worked out.
Hmm.
She's smiling. I find the caricatures behind her a little interesting.
They're a little demonic, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then over here, you have some things going on your end that
What kind of a store is it?
it was one of those little, you're indoors and it's like a pop-up store with hats and shoes and it's just all very kitschy, Central American type of stuff.
Okay.
It's a mishmash. All of those stores are, unless it, specifically says shoes, then you could get anything.
From Santeria candles to spangly hats to
Exactly.
fire extinguishers.
Yes.
Ooh,
I
that's a good one.
love this one. I love this one because from my end, these are two women who were working hard on their booth located in the center of the area of the market.
Mhm.
And I told them not to look at me. So I just said, no, carry on, do whatever you're doing.
This one is a surprise to me at this scale because I had not been able to read it, and I look now and I realize that I was photographing through a hole in the chain link fence.
Oh, wow.
So you can see where the hole sort of
Yeah,
outlines the
right
left
here
half of the
in the
frame.
center. Yeah,
So this is suddenly this one's really attractive to me.
I love this one. And then behind this, there's a reference to leaders in immigration.
Hmm.
But I wasn't sure. Is this yours, maybe? But it's in Spanish. It's probably mine.
I think it's yours.
Yeah, that's just wild. I didn't even see
Absolutely.
that when I photographed it.
No, and I love in the way upper right corner that girder. The,
Hmm.
I mean, it echoes the shapes of the chain link fence so beautifully.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And bottom right, I think we have a figure of
Hmm.
another person walking away.
Another scale issue that sort of compares nicely to the cars on the freeway.
Yeah, and the exit sign right here is very
Hmm.
well placed. This would be a great one for a zine.
Yes, absolutely. This is really nice.
And then here's another one. Um, I find it fitting in a sort of ironic way that we're looking at this girl smile through the chain link fence.
Oh, it couldn't be more pointed. I don't want to say poignant because it is there's nothing sweet about it.
Right.
Most of the people who are being detained and removed from the country, not just the state, but they were being put on planes and flown to Texas, were people of uh, Mexican descent,
Hmm.
brown skinned people, and it's horrifying. I mean, and I have friends who refuse to leave their house because of their skin color.
Yes, and I've heard stories about that. People helping out others, going shopping for them and things of that.
Absolutely. Hmm.
And then we have the lighthearted baby dolls here. I mean, it's just there's a lot here. Let's go to the next one. Um, these were just obviously iPhone or mobile phone
Cases.
accessories, but I love the couple dancing in the middle.
Hmm. And again, the chain link here is really just a kind of background, but it is still present across the whole frame.
Yeah, I love it's going in this direction, which is great visual leading line
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
background. Here's another one
Pedestrian.
that just worked out so great. I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
welcome.
Bienvenidos. And when I look at this shape, and this is up in the part of the walkway that's really over the freeway, and it's very scary. I mean, this is not a new bridge. This is a bridge that has shown some wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
And one part about this is that it reminds me of the bridge that crosses the Mexican-Texas border over the Rio Grande.
Yes.
It's got a quality of that pedestrian bridge, and I feel anything but welcome in this
Right.
situation.
Right. And we have a person going through,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then we have these balloons on the right as well. I think there's just a lot to look at here.
Right. No, that one worked out really beautifully.
This one, and we'll find that unfortunately, another lesson learned for me is the darker I go, the more the darker the environment or the ambient light, I should be aware that whatever the photo is behind it is going to struggle. And so that was the case with this. You can see ice get out, but it's very faint. And so
Right.
mine is bleeding over quite a bit. But we see a
Right.
fence line right in the middle. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this one probably wouldn't make the edit
nope,
if we were going to try and get down to 9 or 10.
right. This one is just bizarre.
Open the files. That's about the
Yeah.
Epstein files, of course.
Yes. Yes. Another one that just too dark.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then this one, is that you?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. And then so the sign behind says protect democracy, constitution, and then rule of law.
Mm-hmm.
Right on top of live this moment, explore and try
we
or
we or rather
ignore.
you're the Photoshop genius would need to do some work there to pull that background, pull the sign out.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then we're losing again some density
But
here.
isn't that beautiful though in that upper right hand corner?
It
Just the
is.
thickness of the black and
Yes.
how the chain link sort of comes in and out. It feels like charcoal drawing.
That's what I love about film is even when it's not at its best, there's always something so redeeming about
Mm-hmm.
the quality of the print.
Black and white, of course,
Yeah,
especially.
absolutely.
I'm doing a color roll with Krina, and
Uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out.
Oh, wow. Yep, it's another one. A little dark on the dark side. Uh, this one turned out okay, I think. What do you think?
Um, I like I like the phrase "you and me"
Mm-hmm.
because it talks about doing the collaboration, you and me combined in one plane. I mean, the obviously the chain link is especially pointed on her face, but in totality, I'm much more um, drawn to her space.
Yeah.
It's like whistles on the back there, or is that a where? Yeah,
These look
right
like
there.
whistles. And then over here in this corner, this is some kind of either Arabic or Farsi,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting. What is she doing with that? I don't
Right.
know.
No,
Um,
I regularly I'm trying to get my whistle out right here. Here it is. I wear it around my neck.
yeah. So um, let's move on to the next one. Another one that was a little too dark, but
Yeah, I didn't see any of myself in
mm-mm,
this one.
mm-mm, no. And same here.
Same here.
This one, I really wish, I mean, I think it's okay, but technically, if it could have been improved, I love this one.
Oh yeah, if I had given it another stop, half stop or full stop, that sign would have really popped out more. but
For those who can't
I
see,
prefer ice crushed.
yes, prefer ice crushed. That's awesome. And she's carrying Valentine flowers.
Hmm. Hmm.
We have trees reflected in from your shot in the back, and then this is Jesus. I
Yep.
mean, Jesus came to the photo.
Yeah,
Uh,
you didn't even see him there before. He just
no,
magically appeared somewhere between my exposure and yours.
exactly. Yeah. This
One
one,
plus one equals three, I guess.
yes. This is one that's just, meh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Same, this one didn't turn out so well. And then we have
Oh,
this guy.
this guy. Oh, thank you for, yeah. I think, is it? Oh, no, I was thinking it was really a miracle that we had both made a vertical frame, but I see that mine is horizontal because of
You
the,
know what the ironically is I shot it. I didn't shoot. Wait, yours is horizontal, right? I
it
shot
is, it
vertically.
is.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And then we have what's hard to see is the American flag behind him.
Hmm. Hmm. But I think that the fierceness of this guy is one step away from being an ice agent.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
All
true.
all he would need is the face covering, the mask over his chin and nose and
For
mouth.
only 79.99.
Well, that's about all they're getting paid.
Yes. Another little meh. This
Except
one,
those flowers, I really like the flowers. I
yeah.
really just think they're so exquisite and they form such a beautiful pattern offset by the chain link. I think this is one that's got a kind of pictorial quality for me. Um,
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah,
and
for me.
I can see too on the right hand side
Mhm.
how it looks as though the frames were not quite aligned.
Aligned, right.
Is that something you saw throughout?
No, it was just this one.
Huh.
Yeah, which is does it make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense at all. But there we have it.
Yeah. This says don't touch. There's really nothing beyond that. This one is another meh. Um, I don't really think, oh, I love this one.
Which says underwear with padding in the back. Is that
Correct.
okay?
Yes.
I had to Google translate that one.
With
It was
padding
just so
in the
rich.
padding in the derriere.
The cola,
Yes.
la cola. Yeah, this one works. This one works better than I thought it did.
Yeah, this one could be tweaked a little more.
Hmm.
Like I said, I did very minimal edits and
There's
really just
something very
hmm
interesting on the lower left-hand corner. You see
hmm
this sort of splash? Do you
Yeah.
know what that is?
Um, I think it was in developing, but yeah, I think it was in developing. I have to
Okay.
look at the negative again.
Okay.
These guys I like, but it's too bad there wasn't.
I like your picture a lot. I'm less crazy about my contribution to it.
Well, there's one coming up that I really love, and let's see if we can get to it as our up. Where did it go?
Oh,
Well,
the America one?
yeah.
Oh yeah, where is that? That's one that you blew up and I loved from the beginning. The Red Dirt Hat Company.
Ah, here it is. It wasn't highlighted.
It's a must.
Yeah. So we have, tell me about who these guys were in the back.
Well, I think this was the excuse me. I think this was the last picture that I took on the roll, and I was heading out. And fortunately, I paid attention to the rule that you're always supposed to leave a couple of frames at the end of a roll,
Hmm
never finish a roll. So as I was walking off the bridge, excuse me, I witnessed this person coming around the corner. There's sort of a curving path that leads up to the bridge. And they turned the corner, and I was like, oh, stop right there, stop. And they stopped. And I, it was interesting for me because I'm not someone who has tended to interact a lot with people. And in the midst of making these photographs, I've been interacting a ton,
Hmm.
and telling people to stop or show me their signs, or I've been continuing to photograph in black and white film since then, and really developing a project. I think that I I modestly would say, oh, it may be a book someday, but just about every photograph seems to be destined to end up in a book someday. But I think um, that this was a picture that really opened my eyes to the idea of a kind of instant yet casual collaboration.
And this will blow your mind a little bit, but
Okay.
I almost didn't take this photo either.
Oh,
And I was walking out and something distracted me from behind. And when I turned around, I saw America and Red Dirt Hat Company. And I thought, well, let me just go ahead. So things like that are just so interesting to me.
well, there's a whole a meme, I guess we call it these days, of the word shortened like that, just America,
Hmm.
and I've never understood where it came from. But when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, it's the America meme.
Yeah, yeah, kind of crazy.
But so that
Um,
was the last image on your roll too.
yes, that was the last one on mine. And
Hmm.
again, I almost didn't take it. So this all worked out so well. And thank you so much for reaching out and inviting me to do this.
Oh, well, in a way, you had laid the groundwork. I felt like I was late to the game.
Oh
Like,
no,
oh,
it's
Juliette, please let me do this with you.
yeah, it worked out perfectly. And next month I'll be speaking to Manuela Thames, I guess is this, I'm sorry, Manuela, if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Um, and she also lives in Minneapolis.
Oh, she
So
does.
it will be a good segue from this conversation.
Oh, funny. She and I should do something then.
You probably should.
You,
So
you know,
yeah,
I just want to say how grateful I am about Substack. I think that
yes.
Substack has really given me an opening into working with other people and to publishing my own work. And it feels like a more welcoming space than most media environments I've been a part of.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm grateful I found it. I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to all of you who subscribe and keep the conversation going about art and all the things that we love. I value everyone's input and collaboration, and I hope to do more of it in the future.
Juliet, it was a real pleasure. Thanks for chatting with me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Talk to you
Okay.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.